Good evening, football fans. Welcome to Gridiron Weekly. Joining me is my co-host John. How we doing tonight, John?
I'm all right, man. How are you?
Not too bad. Is the snow all melted up there in Buffalo?
Yeah. Great 50-degree days lately. It's been nice.
Yeah.
It's been
Same
real
here.
nice.
Same here down in Pittsburgh. It
Yeah.
was a nice day today. So, all right, John. Well, the college football playoffs are upon us. I want to get into that. Talk a little bit about Heisman. Fernando taking it home. Just some news and notes from the NCAA. Folks, we're going to have a little bit of an abbreviated show tonight. We just want to kind of, wrap it up because we want to watch this Rams and Seahawks game. Very good Thursday night game tonight.
Right.
And then we'll get into the NFL, a little bit of news and notes from the NFL, some stuff going on. But without further ado, let's talk about the upcoming college football playoffs. Alabama, number 9 Alabama at number 8 Oklahoma, 8 p.m. on Friday.
Yeah.
At Gaylord Family Memorial Stadium in Norman, Oklahoma. I tell you what, I think this is going to be a good game. This is in Texas, Texas A&M and Miami on Saturday. I think it's going to be a good game, John. When you look at this, these are rematches from each of these games are rematches from the regular season. I don't know. The other games, James Madison and Oregon. Not much. Tulane and Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss and Oregon are gonna rout both those teams.
So. Yeah. I mean, Ole Miss. What did Ole Miss beat Tulane this year? Like 45-10, I think.
Yeah.
In the regular season too. So I had also heard something interesting that James Madison's largest player only weighs like 270 pounds. Yeah. So that's going to be tough when you play Oregon. I don't know how they even hold their ground.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to Alabama and Oklahoma. I think this is going to be a good game. I don't know. There's talks about Kalen DeBoer going elsewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, they've even said about him being maybe a candidate for the Michigan job. I don't see that. I don't know. I don't know that he's definitely going to stay at Alabama, though. I don't. I said it before when he took over. Big shoes to fill with Nick Saban. Big shoes to fill.
Definitely. Yeah.
I just what are you looking for in this game against Alabama and Oregon? What are you looking for that?
Well, what happened here? Oklahoma won by what, like 3 or 4, I think, during the regular season. It was a close game, but
yeah, it was a close game.
My biggest thing is if Alabama can run the ball, they can win. I just don't know if they can. I don't know. Oklahoma's got a good defense, man. And with Mateer finally being healthy, I would assume he's got to be pretty healthy at this point. I thought he was really good. I thought he's Heisman around week 4 or 5 before he got hurt.
Well, they played well even without him too.
Yeah.
So I mean, they didn't really miss a beat with in his absence. So
they got a good defense, right? I mean, they might have the best in the country. It's very close, probably to Ohio State or something. They're really, really good. And I'm leaning away. I almost feel like, and I don't know what's going on with DeBoer because you're saying, you just brought it up. I've heard it a lot on all the national, especially like on the radio when I'm driving around, I'm hearing it. So when you hear it enough times, you start to feel like there's something there. And I'm just curious though, Bill, if they were to, who are they bringing in then? Like who's around to coach Alabama?
Well, listen, both of these teams have rabid fan bases, I mean, and I'm going to say this: Brent Venables too he's facing backlash as well, or not backlash, but he's facing pressure. Both of these guys started the season facing pressure. Like I said, you've got some very rabid fan bases. I think I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I mean, I lean if I had to, when we go back and our guy Ed is back with us and we were doing picks, I almost feel like I lean towards Oklahoma in this game, even though it's hard to beat a team twice. That's the only thing that gets me is having to beat them again.
Well,
but there's something with Alabama. I don't know what it is, man. There's something's not right there.
Yeah.
It might be the running the ball. It might be that. It might be the fact they can't run.
I agree. Alabama needs to run the football. Take a little pressure off Ty Simpson. Simpson, I think he was sacked 4 times against Oklahoma in that game.
Yeah.
In the first meeting. You didn't have, and you didn't have Mason Thomas either in that game. So, Thomas is back from injury. So, Ty Simpson, I think, has been pretty effective. He struggled a little bit in the last few weeks against pressure, and that's not a good sign against that Oklahoma team that leads the nation in sacks and tackles for loss. So that's not good. So, I look to have if they get the passing game going, Alabama. If they get the passing game going, I look for Ryan Williams to have a big game. I think he's gonna be a key factor. He's been quiet lately, but I think he's due for a breakout. And you hit the nail on the head, John Mateer. He's a dual threat. The guy can run, the guy can pass. He's made numerous clutch plays this season. And he makes some very timely throws every game, it seems like. And and sometimes he's been guilty of forcing the ball, which has led to some turnovers, some interceptions. But I think overall they have the best shot of winning behind, with him at the helm. So
yeah, definitely. I said this one time on here. He's got a lot of Jackson Dart in him. He almost looks like him physically, and he might have that. That might be like you say, he tries to force too many things. I'll tell you this though, if they can get by Alabama, and what a great game to have on a Friday night tomorrow. They get to play Indiana, and wouldn't that be a hell of a game to watch? Either one of these teams. For Indiana to have to take on one of these two isn't. Sometimes you wonder if being number one was such a great thing, right? Because you're going to get one of them. That's a hell of. We'll see that when we get there. But tomorrow night, what a great way for a Friday night.
Yeah, agreed. Let's shift focus to Texas A&M hosting Miami. What are you looking for in this game? I'll tell you what. I think Texas A&M is going to win. I don't know.
Isn't it funny with Texas A&M? They went along for undefeated, number 3, generally behind Indiana, Ohio State. It was always Texas A&M. Everyone kind of felt like, oh boy, they really didn't play that SEC schedule like Alabama and Georgia did. Like they missed everyone pretty much in the conference, and here they are all the way down at 7 after 1 loss. Right? They only have 1 loss, isn't that? Am I right? I think so.
Yeah.
And
11-1.
Miami's weird, right? Because I love their defensive ends. Those guys are really good. They're really good. They're probably the 2 best in the country, maybe, as far as pressure. The lines are good for Miami.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a good one too.
The Aggies in Oklahoma are tied for 40. The Aggies in Oklahoma are tied this season with 41 sacks apiece. So
you got to have a good game, man. This is going to be a good one because, and I don't know. Again, what do we get without a Carson Beck, right? Sometimes he looks so good. Sometimes, he's up and down. He's been in big games before, not last year, but I think the year before he was in the playoff with Georgia. So this could go. This is one that could go either way. I think it being in Texas A&M though is a huge thing. I think that's a big deal, that home field for them, and Miami having to go there. I more than I feel like the Alabama-Oklahoma game, I don't feel like home field really makes a difference in that one. I don't know why, but I feel like it does here. I'm leaning towards Texas A&M as well, just like you are.
Miami, I tell you, Miami, they've had an explosive offense. They've had a good defense, too. They haven't allowed more than 17 points in their last 4 games. They've had a pretty stout defense. They've done some good things. I like what I'm seeing out of Malachi Toney. I like him a lot. There's some guy, Mark Fletcher. He's Mark Fletcher Jr., another guy who has done a hell of a job. And I agree. Carson Beck, This is going to be a big game for him. Another big game for him. We'll see what they can do.
But, let me say, man, I bring these guys up, James Franklin, the other guy, Kelly, everybody up. I don't trust Cristobal too much. I don't know. There's something about him in big games that I just wonder.
We're having technical difficulties here. It looks like we're both pausing and we're spinning for some reason. I don't know what the hell's going on, but having some issues here tonight. So, what do you think of Marcel Reed? He's 963 yards, 6 touchdowns. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. These are okay. I'm looking.
No. There was times where I thought he was another high. Well, we had him in our top 5, our Heisman, quite often. Remember, we had him a lot.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, I was looking at some. These are stats in the last 4 games.
Okay.
No, but yeah, and he's had 245 rushing yards in 4 scores in the last 4 games. So,
Texas A&M, for a team that's got 1 loss, has a lot. They feel like they've been underrated.
Yeah, they've flown under the radar a lot. They've flown under the radar this year. Definitely. I mean, when you look at them and you're like 11-1, really? It's kind of surprising.
Spent all year at number 3. It was always them. They were always there with Ohio State and Indiana. And they're being undervalued here at 7, probably. And
probably
they're going to, if they win, they're going to give Ohio State a tough time. That won't be easy. And it's in the Cotton Bowl if they happen to get by Miami.
Yeah.
So,
Hurricanes haven't won a national championship since 2001. It's been a long, long time. Aggies longer than that. 1939 is the last time they won a championship.
Yes. Yeah. I don't believe in Cristobal. I really am not a believer in that guy in a big game. Let's see. But I just, every year it's the same story with Miami. I always on our shows say how much I love them. I love them. I love them. They're so powerful. Their lines and this and that. And they always end up here.
Right.
So they should have won the ACC, honestly. They didn't even do that. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Another guy to look for with Texas A&M is that Cassius Howell. He's another guy. Just a game wrecker. Just an absolute game wrecker. So.
And what I can't get out of my head was that game, and I don't know if it was Mississippi State or who it was when they were down by 30 at halftime. Remember Texas A&M and they came back, and that was a huge. I mean, that win. I always think of that one because they were dead, they were gone, and they come back. So again, if I was picking, I'm leaning towards Texas A&M on this one.
Yeah. All right, let's talk a little news here in college football. Congratulations to Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman winner. I mean, in the last, really the last 3 or 4 weeks, I said he's probably the front runner at this point. With them just, having a perfect record.
Definitely.
I think he's a hell of a quarterback. He's a good kid, comes from a good family, all that stuff. I was happy to see it. We'll see what they can do. I mean, I think this is a pretty damn good team. But what did you think about Fernando taking home the Heisman?
Probably deserved. I mean, that game against Ohio State, he did what he had to do, and and it was nice to hear him. I got to hear him talk the interview and stuff. You can tell he knows he's a good kid. He's a. I mean, they say he speaks like 3 different languages, whatever, and he's. You could tell it was really how emotional he was after winning, and what a difference between that and that guy from Vanderbilt, Pavia. Holy cow!
Yeah.
After his antics, but Mendoza was a perfect winner for that award, and I bet you the NFL he'll probably do well as far as the NFL goes because you could just tell by the attitude he has. Good for him.
Yeah, Yeah, he's like a renaissance man. He's just, he's very, well-rounded. And yeah, I agree. He'll probably do very well in the NFL. So, but let's segue on to the NFL. Good time to segue on. Got a big one tonight. That's why we're kind of abbreviating the show a little bit. Rams and Seahawks. Very, very both with 11-3 records. Really battling for the NFC West title. I mean, this is like a playoff game tonight, really, at Lumen Field. What I mean, this is going to be good. This is going to be must-see TV, I think. We're looking for a good one here. Other news: Tua benched. You surprised at that?
In a way, yeah. I mean, why bother? Like, why even do it? Why now? If you're going to do this, you should have done it, when it meant something.
Well, I think at this point in time, they're out of it, and they, my Steelers, kind of. Well, I mean, listen, going into that Monday night game, they had slim chances, anyways. Okay,
right?
They had very slim chances, anyways. But they're eliminated, and I think at this point in time, they're just looking to the future and see what they got in this Quinn Ewers. And, Tua has not lived up to expectations, in my opinion. I think the injuries that he sustained have contributed to that, but he has not lived up to expectations. He has not. I mean,
yeah. And I also think where he is, being in Miami, I don't it's just not a good. I don't know. It was just a messed up. Think about it,
I mean, I don't. You listen. I don't have a personal vendetta or anything against Mike McDaniel. I don't think he's a good head coach.
Right.
And, hey, listen. Some guys aren't cut out to be head coaches. We've seen that time and time again. I'm going to say Glenn isn't cut out to be a head. I think he's a clown.
Right.
But those guys are good coordinators, and they try their hand at head coaching, and sometimes it doesn't work out. We've seen this happen before. We saw it happen with Dick LeBeau in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
He was a great defensive coordinator, but as a head coach, he left a lot to be desired. So no knock on those guys. Listen, Mike McDaniel. I mean, in week 3, we were talking that he wasn't going to make it to week 7.
Right.
And they did turn it around a little bit. That 4-game winning streak did kind of turn some heads, and did kind of, he kind of righted the ship for a while. It's off course again, but the ship was kind of righted a little bit, and but like I said, it's back off course again. But I give him a little bit of credit. But I'm not going to say that I think he's a good head coach, good coordinator. I think he has I think his as an offensive coordinator, I think he's good. I think he can do some, I think he can do the job. But like I said, not everybody's cut out to be a head coach.
And it's funny, especially some of the offensive guys, right? I mean, I know the defense. I mean, I saw Eberflus, same thing. I mean, he wasn't cut out for it, but he's okay in Dallas. But think about some of these guys. I mean, Josh McDaniel, he's another one. I mean, he couldn't do it. He tried twice, and he couldn't make it. I always think of some of these guys. I think of Trestman a lot. Mark Trestman, I just remember, good offensive coordinator, right? Really good, but just couldn't do it as a head coach. So I agree with you, man. They turned it around a bit. There's a lot to do there, though. It's a mess because Tyreek Hill, I'm assuming his career's close. I mean, I don't know, but I don't know if he makes it back after that injury. And they're at the point of stripping it down and letting Tua walk if they can. If there's any way they can move him around, I don't know if they can. I don't know the contract, what's left for him, but if there's any way, they really need to start over bad.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I agree. I think it's, I think he's run his course there in Miami for sure. So, Micah Parsons, big injury news for the Packers. Obviously, big injury news with Patrick Mahomes having he had successful surgery on Monday. Gardner Minshew they're done. They've been eliminated. Gardner Minshew going to close out the season. I think we'll get to Michael Parsons here, but I think that the dynasty is over in Kansas City. It's done and over with. It was good while it lasted, but dynasty's got to come to an end. Kelsey's not going to be back. I know they were kind of analyzing what he had said about Mahomes, that he basically said, oh, he'll be back for the Chiefs next year, not saying he'll be back for us. Like it's the writing's on a wall. Kelsey's done. I think he's going to retire. He'll announce his retirement here probably after, the Super Bowl, I'm guessing. And they're just they're a team that just they needs complete retooling. And, I think it's going to be a while before we see the Chiefs competitive again. What do you think?
Yes, and there's so much to do, right? Offensive line. The lines are bad. They got both sides got to be fixed. They have no running game. They have no wide receiver. They're missing a lot of things. Right. And I really wonder how long it is for Andy Reid. I would it be surprising to me if he retired this offseason? No. It wouldn't shock me in the least.
He's in his late 60s. I think he's 67, going to be 68 to be exact. And I think that does he want to stay around for a rebuild? Because this rebuild Patrick Mahomes has a lot of football ahead of him. He's got more runway in front of him, I think, than what's behind him. Maybe equal. But does Andy Reid want to stick around for a rebuild? Because it may be a few years before they have a legitimate shot at being going to the Super Bowl.
There's a world in my mind where I could see Mahomes being in somewhere else someday. Like, why not? I never thought there's guys I never thought would leave, like Brady, Montana, guys like that. They left. I mean, you could see it. Does he want to rebuild? How much more? I mean, honestly, does he really want to be involved in a long kind of rebuild? So I don't know. There's a lot over there. They did so much winning, and Chiefs fans really got to get a grip and calm themselves down, because there's some fan bases that haven't won in a long time. So, some of the things I hear them saying are insane on social media, and they're crazy. Be happy with what you've had, because it's been an incredible run for them.
Right. Exactly. It has been an incredible run for them, but it's come to an end. Interesting fact. This is the first time since 1998 that you're not going to have either Brady, Manning, or Mahomes in the postseason. First time since 1990. Yeah, crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep. Devontae Adams is out tonight, correct?
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah. So,
what'd you
think of Phillip Rivers?
Yeah, holy cow! He almost won that game for them. Right off the couch, looking as bad as he did. He couldn't have done too much. He couldn't run. It was impressive though. He's able to come in off the sofa, do first snap reps with the team as soon as he gets there, and he ran the offense. Look at him.
He obviously him and Steichen were together when he played his last couple years with the Chargers.
Right.
Although it's watered down, he basically runs the same Steichen offense that in the high school team that he had coached. And from what I understand, him and Steichen are good friends, and they've talked pretty much every week, and they talk offense. So, there was a lot of familiarity. He knows the offense like the back of his hand. And, the guy's a Hall of Fame quarterback. At least I think he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Some people say it's iffy a little bit. But, he knows how to read defenses. So I wasn't really too shocked. 18 for 27, 120 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He was sacked only what? Was he sacked? He was only sacked 1 time.
That's not bad. I remember a guy for the Browns when I was a kid that was there. I don't even know why the hell I was there, but I watched the Browns play the Houston Oilers, and Don Strock came in. That's what it reminded me of. Might as well have been him. I mean, the same type of deal. He's not. If I don't think they can beat the 49ers though this week, but he's better than what you could have had. You know, what are you going to have, Anthony Richardson? I mean, it's
he's back practicing, but they said that Rivers is going to be the guy for the rest of the season.
Wow.
I mean, hey, listen, I remember a 44-year-old Vinny Testaverde coming in and playing. I remember Steve DeBerg back in the day at age 44. Hell, I remember in 2003 when the Steelers were 6-10, getting beat by a 40-something-year-old Doug Flutie that came in the Heinz Field and just threw the ball all over the place. And these guys, if like I said, if you stayed in a little bit of shape, they can read defenses, and if you know the offense, then you can be an asset instead of a liability. So
definitely. I mean, I feel bad for Indy because their playoff hopes are done. At one point, it was you thought they were going to the Super Bowl, or it was possible, and that really collapsed quick. But unfortunate.
I want to talk. I want to talk a little bit about Caleb Williams in the Bears. Caleb Williams was interviewed this week, and he said he feels great. He said he feels great. He hasn't. He's been able to kind of stay injured. He's had a little bit of injuries that he's dealt with, but he feels good. Where are you thinking your Bears are going to go this year? I mean, they're sitting atop of NFC North.
Geez, I thought they let the Packers off the hook the first time. So now they get them again Saturday night at home. They never, I look at through my entire life, unless it was the 80s, unless it was that team, the Packers always beat the Bears. I don't know why. It could be an NFC championship game. It could have Cutler. I don't care who's out there. They end up winning one way or another. The Packers win. So that would be a huge step in the right direction if I see the Bears win. But right now, I mean, Williams played great against the Browns. I mean, he's gotten better every week, and I got to go with Johnson. I mean, this guy has done a great job over there. He has them. They believe that they're good. And you know where it starts, though, Bill, where you've always said, and I've always agreed with you, look what they did. They got the offensive line set. This year, they played with all five. They have not had a time where they've taken one of those five guys out. There's no penalties anymore. There's no, false starts, craziness. Joe Tooney and Dahlman and Jackson have been really good. They've solidified the thing. You got the number one pick from a couple years ago playing right tackle. He's doing fine. They found a guy from Canada who went to the University of Alberta playing left tackle. So it's been good, man. I mean, the only things, the biggest thing is that Johnson has them running the ball, and that's what you got to do in Chicago. You got to run. I mean, it's like that's their identity, right? You run and you just. That's how they've won their games. And I gotta say, I think I told you on the phone off the air here. I haven't been this happy watching Bears football in probably 10 years.
Yeah,
easy. Probably since a double doink. So whenever that was.
Right. Yeah. I agree. I mean, they've been a surprise to me. I mean, I knew Johnson. I know he's a good coach, and I thought he would make the team better. I didn't expect them to be that good. I mean, they're very good. I mean, they're doing a really good job this year, and I'm surprised with I am surprised with Williams and what he's been able to do. I think I questioned him a lot. I questioned him a lot, to be honest with you, early on, because to me, it just didn't seem like the maturity level was there. And it just didn't seem like he was, grasping what it takes to be an NFL quarterback. And I tell you what, this year he's proven me wrong. So
Ben Johnson did something, got him. He believed. You can tell he's bought all the way in. You can see it in the locker room after game. The way he is what I've been saying I wish they had. You got to have – he's become a leader somehow. I didn't believe it either. But, Bill, you heard me on this show. I was disgusted. Yeah. I thought it was – I can't believe they – but no, he's done well in the big moments. He's doing good. In fourth quarters, he's awfully good. He makes good decisions. I think that Ben Johnson, though, when you look at the difference between having him there than having Eberflus, or let's say his counterpart that he had with him, Aaron Glenn. I mean, they act sometimes the clock is right, even though it's broken. And I think the Bears got it right this time. Now they just gotta, after this season, what you don't want to be is Washington. You don't want to take steps back. They got to keep going forward. Because I'm quite sure they're not going to win a Super Bowl this year, but this is a way to start, hopefully building that way for them.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to talk real quick about Jaden Daniels. There was a headline that he's frustrated with his injury-filled season this year. Washington's just a terrible team. I mean, they're just a disaster of a team. I would say even too they're kind of they're not a good organization at all either. They haven't been for a very long time. I'm going to say this about Jaden Daniels. Maybe some people disagree. I'm going to run it by you and see what you think. I think he's undersized, and not meaning height, but weight and just overall frame. He's not cut out to be an NFL quarterback. He's just not. He's not cut out for the collisions in the he's just not. He has a very thin frame. He looks fragile to me. He does not. It looks to me like he really needs to hit the gym, and he needs to put on some weight, and not fat, but he needs to put on some muscle. He needs to be he needs to hit the gym, and he needs to get on some kind of high protein diet to just kind of improve his mass. Because I tell you what, I think this is a lot of his issues is because of his frame. He just doesn't have a frame that's cut out for the rigors of being an NFL quarterback. He just doesn't. And it's just,
and I don't think last year did him any favors. They were darlings of the league last year. This time last year was a different story. They were the Bears last year. Where the Bears are, they with Washington. And everything went good for Daniels. Everything. And even when I forget last year, I don't know if it was against the Eagles, he got hit really hard. And I remember Mariota telling him, you could see it. You can't take those kind of hits. You just can't keep getting hit. And he plays a game like he's Josh Allen, like he's his size. And you're absolutely right. He has to change the way he plays. I mean, even Lamar Jackson doesn't take those kind of hits. You know what I mean? He doesn't he puts himself in terrible positions. And I think last year, there's something about it, man. And I know this sounds goofy. You always want the first year quarterback when it's too easy. I'm not quite sure it's that great for them. Because then the second year, I think they think it's easy. And if you ever notice, they always take a step back. Always.
I'm kind of with you. I kind of think that guys that kind of ease into success, especially at the quarterback position, I think are better long-term quarterbacks. You know what I mean? With the exception of one guy, and that's Ben Roethlisberger on my Steelers. I mean, he came in
was a monster.
But and to kind of segue into that, Ben could take hits. Ben took vicious hits, but Ben was also 6'5". He
was Josh Allen,
245, right? And I mean, Josh Allen has taken hits, but Josh Allen has muscle on his frame. Josh Allen's 6'5", and he's able to absorb those hits. I mean, Jaden Daniels, when you look at him, and you look at him with pads on, I mean, he looks like he's too thin, and he just doesn't he looks like a wideout. He looks like a speedy wideout is what he looks like. He doesn't look like. I mean, even guys like Dak Prescott, they're big. They've got muscle mass. And they can take those hits. They can absorb those hits, and it's a proven fact. The more muscle you have on your frame, the better you're shielded from injury. I mean, you are.
It's a similar issue with Jackson Dart. He's another one who's got to stop. He's not exactly big enough to be taking these. He's getting hit. He did a cartwheel the other day out of bounds when I watched the last time I saw the Giants play. He got hit so hard.
And like I said, the last show we did, they say, "Oh, he's a tough kid." I like tough guys. I'm all about toughness. I want toughness in football. I am all about these tough guys and stuff like that. But to me, tough guys are the guys that play 17 games. I mean,
absolutely. They're not tough guys.
Yeah, not in concussion protocol 4 times in a season, So,
Yeah, you
but
got to be smart. They got to be smart. I mean, even the big guys. Let's go. Roethlisberger and Allen are probably almost the same size, and they're not. He's still even Allen. I watch enough. I see enough of him. He doesn't put himself in position also to get his bell rung or to get
yeah,
his
he's
legs
smart about
broke.
it. I mean, when he runs, he takes off. He has good vision. He knows when the defenders are closing in on him. He knows whenever to go, feet first and slide. He knows, okay, hey, I see these guys conversion on me. All the safety's coming up. Okay, let me get as much yardage as I can, and then let's go out of bounds. Rather than he doesn't try to take guys on. He doesn't try to. I mean, he has a couple times where
Right.
he's
But
fought for first downs, but generally he's smart about how when he does take off and run, he's smart about it. But yeah, I mean, Jaden Daniels, he's got to change. He's got to put some muscle mass on.
yeah,
And he's got to change. He's got to change. Because I tell you, he's not going to survive. I'm just letting you know right now. He's not going to survive.
no,
So
no, they've got to do it, and they got to either get him if he's going to continue to be this way. I mean, Lamar is a good example for him to follow. I mean, that kid, he came from Louisville. He wasn't exactly real big, but look how big he is now. He's a decent sized guy that he can actually lower it. He can hit somebody if he needed to. So
I mean, Jaden Daniels is 6'4", and they have him listed at 210 pounds. I don't think he's 210
probably
pounds.
190. Bet he's 190 or something.
Yeah, that's inflated. I mean, I think he's probably 190, and that's not good enough. That's 6'4", 190 as an NFL quarterback. That's not.
No, the corners are the corners are bigger than you. Like you said, your wide receivers are yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah.
That's a great point. And they're going to have to. And I assume you would hope that organization is going to fix him because, like you said, they're not going to have him. They're not going to have him. He won't make it.
Yeah. All right, let's close out the show real quick. I just want to talk about my Steelers. This is I was talking about this last night. This is a very pivotal game. But I want to say that it's more. I think it's more. And I hate to say this, but I think it's really more pivotal for Detroit. I was saying this last night. Detroit has their back against the wall. I mean, they lose this game, there is no future for them.
It's over.
I mean, your team is number 1 in that division. Packers number 2, and the Lions at 8-6 are number 3. This is like I said, their back is against the wall. They have to win out, or there's no tomorrow for them. And I'm very nervous about this game because I could see this game maybe getting out of hand for the Steelers early, because I think Jamar Gibbs and I think David Montgomery are an awesome 1-2 punch, and we've had a terrible run defense this year, one of the worst in the league. And I could just see them running all over, and I could see Goff opening up and and being you have establish a run game early. It makes it easier for Jared Goff to to move the football down the field, move the chains, opens up the passing game. TJ Watt's going to be out with this crazy lung puncturing thing with this dry needling. I mean, it's just insane that happened. But you're going to have to put pressure on Jared Goff, and this is going to be a tough game for the Steelers. I mean, it's going to be a tough one because, like I said, Detroit's fighting for their life right now. I mean, they cannot afford to lose this game. I mean, they can't afford to lose any games for the rest of the season, or else, there's no tomorrow for them.
Yeah, I don't see how there's no path. I don't know how they'd make it if they lose this one. Maybe 3 bet. Yeah, I don't think they can. They won't even make a wild card.
Yeah,
not close.
So, like, we on our show last night. I said, hey, this team has their back against the wall. This is like a mountain lion that you've cornered. They're pissed, and they're going to try to do whatever they can to get the best of you and get the edge. And I don't know. I'm a little bit. A little bit nervous about this one.
Yeah, if they could somehow the Steelers run the ball and really try to maybe slow this. Because I know what you said. It's indoors. It's going to be fast. It's going to be all that. I do like Warren and Gainwell, though. I don't know, man. And just when I start to doubt Rodgers, then I see him play a good game. It's so weird with that guy. Just when I start to think, oh my God, he's so old. I don't even want to. And then next thing I know, I thought he looked great against, in the Monday night game. Yeah. So
he looked good against Baltimore too.
He did, yeah. So I mean, there you go. He did against since Buffalo. He's looked good. So it's interesting, man.
And I'll say this too: they don't have a great. The Lions don't have a great pass defense. They don't.
No,
they've. They're not.
That's right. They don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Their secondary is not that great.
There's a chance, man. I think it reminds me like a little bit if I think of the NHL, some hockey. If they can get out of the beginning of that game and let it be let it be close. Like you said, don't let it get away from them quick. You never know, man, because I don't know. I wonder I don't even know what the line is on that game. I'm sure Pittsburgh's probably getting like about 5 or 6. I don't know what they'd be getting over there. But it's gonna be a good one.
Here.
4:25. So then New England plays Baltimore too. So
yeah. Yeah, the line on that one is gosh, I'm not seeing it.
Could be 7.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is 7. So
that's interesting. Great game. The New England Baltimore is going to be one that's good. I don't know.
Well, yeah, and I said this too. I was talking about this. I said, when you look at, the AFC North, obviously it's going to come down to the Ravens and the Steelers. But when you look at the Ravens, they have a hard. I think they have a harder schedule. I mean, now that Micah Parsons is out, I mean, the Ravens got the Patriots at home. This Patriots team, is pissed, losing to Buffalo. You blow a 21-0 lead. They're going to be going down to Baltimore pissed. So that's going to be, I think, a tough game for Baltimore. And then you got to go to Lambeau.
Be tough.
And like I said, granted, you've got Micah Parsons out, but I still think it's going to be a tough game for them up there.
Definitely.
And then the showdown is the last game. Baltimore coming to Acrisure. And couldn't be better. I mean, it's going to come. It may come down to that. I mean, it very well may come down to that. And I said this before. If you're going to lose the game, and I don't necessarily, I think the Steelers really, to make things easier for them, they need to win out. They need to win out. But I'm just looking at you've got Detroit, you go to Cleveland, and then you got Baltimore at home. If you were to lose one game, I think I think the Lions game would probably be the game to lose.
Because they'll beat Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland's pretty much, after watching them play the Bears, I think they've pretty much made a decision. It's over.
They've pretty much packed it in. Yeah, it's
the players are done.
The bus is warmed up, and they're pretty much ready to shove off, and so to speak. So, but it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. So, all right. Hey, I would just want to tell everybody, next week, obviously, we're not going to have a show. The following week is New Year's Day on that Thursday, so we're not going to have a show either that day. So we may try to maybe fit something in between. Maybe we may try to fit something in on another day. Stay tuned for that. We got to work some things out with that. But I just want to let everybody know. I just want to, everybody listening out there, have a very happy holiday, Merry Christmas. Have a great New Year's. Be safe. Enjoy the time with your family. Enjoy the football, because there's going to be a lot of good football to watch. And on behalf of me and John, we just wish everybody a very happy holiday. So, but all right, we'll keep you guys posted. Like I said, we may try to fit a show maybe in between. Obviously no show next on our regular schedule Thursdays. 25th is, like I said, that's gonna be Christmas, and then you got New Year's. But we may try to fit something in. Stay tuned for that. We'll let everybody know if we can work something out with that. But yeah, like I said, everybody have a happy holiday, and we'll talk to you soon.